are watching the SciFi Channel.
In November of 1974, a small group from SETI, S-E-T-I, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, used the radio dishes at Arecibo to send out a message to whoever might be listening. In January of 1993, Arecibo received a message back.
I'm Ben Kingsley, and welcome to the Evolution of Species, here on the SciFi Channel. Species, a classification of life forms on the phylogenetic spectrum, and also the name of a very exciting motion picture.
It's a sort of Fatal Attraction meets the Alien, I suppose.
There's something there for everyone.
You don't need these.
Hey. The special effects, that's the central thing of the film.
It's definitely going to scare them.
Where is this party?
Sex does make the world go around.
In Species, the search for extraterrestrial life finally pays off. Whoever sent that first message enclosed a little gift, a formula for renewable methane gas that meant a permanent end to the energy shortage.
The second message turned out to be a new sequence of DNA with a rather friendly instructions on how to combine it with ours. We got 7 to divide. 4 petered out. 2 were stored in liquid nitrogen. And we allowed 1 to grow.
Her name is Syl, a code name for a human egg fertilized by alien DNA. Ben Kingsley is Dr. Xavier Fitch, the man in charge of this experiment.
You might say I'm her father.
Under Fitch's supervision, Syl begins life as a pretty little girl who quickly grows beyond the scientist's control.
Sir, she's breaking out!
She escapes, she murders, and then she morphs into a stunningly beautiful woman.
Even when she's in my form, she's still a child somewhere. The childlikeness stays throughout the film.
International model Natasha Henstridge makes her feature film debut as the lovely and lethal Syl.
I don't know why I'm here. I don't know who I am, who sent me.
Terrified and very possibly unstoppable, she's headed straight for Los Angeles.
I want a team to track her.
And Fitch knows that it will take special talents to hunt Syl down, so he assembles a special team. Alfred Molina plays Dr. Stephen Arden, a Harvard anthropologist.
And this guy's used to kind of delivering lectures and writing papers, and he's not really into kind of getting shot at or sort of putting his life in danger.
Marg Helgenberger plays Dr. Laura Baker, the microbiologist who discovers Syl's true objective.
Women, I think, will like this film because there's 2 very strong female characters.
Forrest Whitaker plays Dan Smithson, an empath who can sense the feelings and motivations of others.
He's brought in basically to understand how Syl thinks, how Syl feels.
I think this is strictly a search and destroy operation. Nobody ever asked me to find anything they didn't want dead.
But putting a stop to the half-alien Syl is the job of professional assassin Press Lennox, played by Michael Madsen.
He's much more the outsider and the loner of the group, because his job is a little bit more definitive, being that he's the Iceman, so to speak.
You created a monster with some kind of formula you got from outer space. The damn thing got away, and now you want us to hunt it down and kill it. Now, is that pretty close?
I guess.
Stay tuned and see why this just might be the sexiest sci-fi movie ever made, as Evolution of Species continues here on the SciFi Channel.
Hair with this much curl, this much body, and this much softness is now even easier to manage. The home sale at JCPenney Styling Salons.
I eat a lot of chicken.
Doesn't look like the stuff you buy in the store.
It's just like you cut it at home.
Now there's Louis Rich carving board chicken.
Carving board. Louis Rich.
Just like homemade. Good sandwich.
So you can just get this at the supermarket. Yes.
Switch to Rich. Louis Rich. Today's taste.
How much do you pay for a minute of long distance to someone who's, say, 3,000 miles away?
Ooh, over $1 a minute.
Guess again.
Maybe, 50, 60 cents a minute.
Keep guessing.
60-some cents.
No matter how far away, it's just 10 cents a minute with Sprint Cents. It's as simple as that.
You mean across the whole country?
I can call somebody in Phoenix,
New York, Alabama.
10 cents to Hawaii. Amazing how far a dime will go.
Call now for 10 cents a minute and get up to 100 minutes free. Retro science. Retro fiction.
It's amazing.
Retro TV. Tomorrow at 3 a.m.
You are watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
This could be your arm. This could be your back. This could be your stomach. This could be your thigh. These could be your shoulders. This could be your body. This could be the way. The Soloflex Muscle Machine. Call now for a free brochure. This could be your arm. This could be your chest. These could be your shoulders. This could be your thigh. This could be your stomach. This could be your back. This could be your body. This could be the way. The Soloflex Muscle Machine. Call now for a free brochure.
You are watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
Species might be the sexiest science fiction film ever made. The story combines the romantic lead and the villain into one irresistibly beautiful creature.
I'm foreign.
Foreign, really? Whoa, easy, easy, easy.
I've got a party to go to and no one to take me.
I'll take you.
She learns sexuality through everything that she sees. Unfortunately, she didn't get the best messages of what women were supposed to, do to kind of pick up men. I've got a party to go to and no one to take me.
So it's only natural what she's doing. And she just happens to be from a different star system.
We've got a monster who is not only a really, really ugly monster, but also a very, very beautiful person as well.
Syl is seductive, predatory, and completely without conscience. She's genetically programmed with a drive that's as old as evolution.
Should I leave a message?
Yeah. Tell him he's about to copulate with a creature from outer space.
Through Syl's character, it's clearly for a purpose. She's wanting to procreate and she's wanting to take over.
You don't need these.
Oh. Hey, that's a little fast.
She tries really hard to mate. Don't go. Please. I want a baby.
What?
But, and she succeeds. But she has a hard time with it.
Designing this alarming but alluring creature became the task of H.R. Giger, the man who created the Oscar-winning Alien.
Once a protege of Salvador Dali, H.R. Giger has earned worldwide acclaim as a fine artist and for his style, which has come to be known as biomechanical. Giger still lives and works in his native Switzerland.
It's like incredibly erotic work, every bit of it, every square inch of every one of his canvases. If you look at them, there's sexual content everywhere. To my knowledge, no one has ever done what Giger always does. I mean, the alien was a big phallic head. Everything else that's been done have usually been male versions of what Giger does, but 99% of his work, if you really look at it, it's all beautiful women.
He fell in love with Syl, actually. I mean, he quite literally fell in love with Syl, and I'm sure he'll be working on versions of her for 10 years. It's his obsessive nature.
Well, she has tentacles that come out of her breasts. She has a tongue that's barbed. Gosh. She's got all kinds of methods of killing. She's, you know, a pretty talented woman.
It scares us, and we're just filming it. You know, and we know it, and we know it's only a movie.
Realizing Syl on screen was a formidable challenge. Her alien form is terrifying yet sensuous. Her every movement conveys a certain deadly elegance.
It's interesting, Giger's a funny guy because he's such an artist. He is such a critic of his own work. Therefore, when someone else creates his work, he's hypercritical of it.
Get to the other door!
For instance, the design of the lab creature, the metamorphosis sequences with the tendrils growing and forming the chrysalis. So when we send him videotape, he goes crazy for this stuff. He loves it. I mean, the movement, the colors, he's like going nuts for it. But then he gets back to Syl, and he'll like nitpick about the third eyelash, you know. So it's actually pretty interesting, and it's understandable because it's his baby.
Do you ever have nightmares? I think they tell me who I am.
They certainly do. In Species, these vivid, surreal nightmares give Syl and the audience the first hint of the creature she will become.
That's a dream of Syl. It's a nightmare. Syl is sleeping in a train, and she dreams about this train who is coming with a lot of smoke and red lashes, and then you see here like vacuum cleaners, they suck the people into. The locomotive is composed by 5 elements with skulls, and the tongue will spray the blood on all sides, and it will run down.
Species is a story propelled by beauty, terror, and groundbreaking special effects. You'll see what we mean when Evolution of Species continues here on the SciFi Channel.
Here's why the Sachs are another Tylenol extended relief family.
I get headaches from stress on the job. That's my story. The pain would make me just want to go home and hide. Now I get relief that lasts my entire workday.
Now Christine uses Tylenol extended relief with this unique bi-layer caplet. 1 layer of strong relief to attack the pain quickly, and 1 layer to make sure that strong relief lasts.
Extended relief. It does the job.
Tylenol extended relief. Strong relief right away. Strong relief the whole day.
So, I suppose you'll be having binge meat up in the spare room for the lambs next.
Oh, this little fella, I won't have to call a creamy aunt. Sure, having another speakerphone. Can I play CDs? Print. And that's without going within a pulse or the hole in the wall.
Miss Machinchi must have been behind the door and that.
And when the video capture capability to make it cat part. It's not the right picture. Ask myself and herself down Acupointy way.
To get a complete aerobic and muscle building workout, you could run and lift weights and cycle and climb stairs and lift weights and cycle and lift weights and climb stairs and cycle. Or you could just lay back and relax. Introducing the SoloFlex Rocket, a total fitness machine that gives you an aerobic workout and builds muscle at the same time. And you can own it for less than you'd imagine. Call now for a free video and brochure.
To get a complete aerobic and muscle-building workout, you could run and lift weights and cycle and climb stairs and lift weights and cycle and lift weights and climb stairs and cycle. Or you could just lay back and relax. Introducing the SoloFlex Rocket, a total fitness machine that gives you an aerobic workout and builds muscle at the same time. And you can own it for less than you'd imagine. Call now for a free video and brochure.
Mothership's taking fire. I've got your wing coverage. Close for missiles.
You are watching the Sci-Fi Channel.
If you've seen the Star Wars trilogy, Raiders of the Lost Ark or Die Hard, you've seen the special effects work of Richard Edlund. Well, in Species, Edlund has outdone himself.
We have a responsibility to be able to trick the audience successfully, and the audience loves to be tricked. They just don't like to know how they've been tricked.
Edlund's Boss Film Studios created a revolutionary form of computer imagery and puppetry.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Called motion capture. Quite simply, it allows the real-life actors and special effects creatures to perform on screen at the same time.
What we're actually doing is enabling the director to direct animation. So instead of having a 2-week turnaround where a director would say, oh, I'd like him to jump like this, an animator interprets it, and then he sees it and says, well, I wish he had jumped a little harder. With this system, we can do about 100 takes a day.
Basically, what you're seeing here is stage 2 in what we call the virtual studio that we're heading towards. And that studio would be the ability, it would give the director the ability to walk in and direct a creature by means of an electric puppet like this and get action on the screen, ultimately complete with facial capture. In the old days, we would be shooting a puppet that would look like what we want it to look like in front of a blue screen. And the puppeteers would all have to try to stay out of the way of the camera. In this case, we have a virtual camera that's placed in space wherever you want to place it. And the puppeteers can get in front of it because it doesn't see them. I mean, there are millions of calculations that are going on right now that are winding up as resulting in an image on the screen. The creature actually starts out as a three-dimensional sculpture, which is then digitized and put into a data bank. So it's quite an incredible breakthrough, this motion capture world that we're in, and the virtual studio is coming a lot closer to happening as a result of Species.
Well, I think ultimately that time will come. However, I think it's a long way off as well, because I see how much effort and time and money it's taken to produce relatively small amounts of film for this movie.
Anything at all you can make it to contribute to making it look more angry and aggressive, the better it's going to be.
What about? Are actors worried about being overshadowed by computer imagery or even replaced? Well, quite the contrary. This new motion capture technique makes the actor's performance more important than ever. It frees us to interact spontaneously no matter how fantastic the surroundings.
This is the system that's been put together to apply facial motion, facial animation to the puppet that you've been looking at. My job will be to overlay the face animation on top of the puppet capture animation we've already done. You're seeing real-time motion, which I'm doing by just squeezing the grip.
We want the director to be able to visualize the shot, not just conceptualize it this way, but actually see fully textured, fully shaded models in real time.
I finish up with a version, a very simplistic version, but a version, nevertheless, that I can make suggestions about how it could move.
The more you can make these lips that move here, the better.
Not move
No,
there.
move them. Be able to have control over the lips,
There are shots in this movie that we've worked on for 9 months to produce literally seconds of film, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it.
Press. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this.
The fantastic makeup effects in Species are the creations of Steve Johnson, founder of XFX Incorporated. Johnson had to build the life-size models of the alien. Johnson's team also created dozens of hand-operated and electronic puppets for the film.
Okay, action, Bill!
In the film, they want to find out how they can combat this monster, but still in the film is a combination of alien and human DNA. So in order to find out what this creature truly is, they decide to go back to the lab and create a pure version of it, which doesn't sound like a good idea to me from the outset, but they decide to do this, and while it's small, figure out how they can kill it. Obviously, it gets loose.
Get out of the way, or else it's gonna burn it! Get out of the way!
What we've got in this sequence are probably, we're using every trick in the book, we've probably got 20 different puppets to actually create a 2-minute scene, so I think it's going to be pretty damn outstanding.
Can't destroy it in 2 minutes, I'll have to burn the whole room. I have to burn the whole room. You got less than 2 minutes to kill the thing.
Disconnect the gas line in the isolation box. Use it as a flamethrower.
It's just one shot after another, and every shot we're using a different trick. We're using gravity tricks, actually different puppets, opticals, all kinds of things like that to really make this an incredible scene, and I'm really excited about it and nervous.
Like all great science fiction, the premise of Species takes a creative leap from actual science fact. The reality behind the wonderment as Evolution of Species continues here on the SciFi Channel.
You better tell Mom and Dad.
Yeah, I know, Sam. I've been putting it off. I was thinking about getting married again, and I knew what they'd say.
Bill, Marcia's 10 years older than you.
Mom, what difference does that make? Sometimes I wish my family wasn't so connected.
I just hope you know what you're doing.
Dad, can we talk about this later? My kid Jimmy called my 800 number.
Mom says when you're 50, she'll be 60.
My friend Andy wasn't much help either.
10 years. Ugh. Talk to them, Sam.
I'll try.
I guess it is a good thing we're so connected.
Mom, what if he was 10 years older than her?
That's different.
How is it any different?
Meanwhile, Dad was getting email from Kevin.
She loves him, Mom. That's what matters.
The next day, I got a message, but it wasn't for me.
Marcia.
It said, "Welcome to the family, Marcia. Love, Mom and Dad."
The SciFi Channel.
Wow, look at the sunset.
It's like being in the islands.
So is this.
Kahlua Cafe from General Foods International Coffees.
Delicious. What's this flavor? Kahlua.
I'm imagining tropical breezes.
And endless beaches.
The only after-dinner coffee with the flavor of real Kahlua.
It makes me want to be...
Where?
Right here, right now.
Celebrate the moments of your life. Kahlua Cafe.
Every soldier needs discipline, but none more than these. These are soldiers who have learned to tread softly, who have learned to negotiate calmly, who have learned not to use their weapons. These are the United Nations peacekeepers, and their only enemy is war.
You are watching the SciFi Channel.
generation ago, the notion of transplanting strands of DNA was considered wild speculation. Today, genetic engineering is just another feature story in the evening news. Species uses realities of science to make the fantastic more believable.
The new combined DNA sequence was injected into 100 human ova. 2 were stored in liquid nitrogen, and we allowed 1 to grow.
And although we're a little far from the truth, there is research being done on how to inject actual DNA with signals in it to turn on a cell, turn off a cell, begin development, cease development, things like that. Although we're having a little cinematic license, we're on the right track.
In 1974, there was this message that Carl Sagan was responsible for sending out from Arecibo in Puerto Rico. This message that went out to the universe to potentially communicate with some civilization that may exist out there.
Species uses realities of science to make the fantastic more believable.
The fascination is that this could happen. You know, this could be, you know, and I think that's what makes this film so interesting, is that because we know, you know, we all know about DNA.
Something's wrong.
That's what makes it fascinating and scary at the same time.
Christ, it started already. It started already. Get the top back on.
What?
All right, press, get the top back on.
It went wrong because we don't understand the nature of biology or the nature of ourselves. And we assume we can control this world and that it won't be destructive to us.
I'm sorry.
I think it's the classic old age one, is treat others, including other species, as you'd like to be treated. And that means don't extinguish them, don't prey on them when it's not necessary, and don't destroy their environment.
Sir, she's breaking out!
It may well come back to haunt you.
She escaped?
I mean, it certainly lessens the variety on this planet.
I think there has to be something out there. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't pretend to know what the hell it is, but I think there is something out there somewhere.
Intelligent life beyond this planet.
It's just a pity that there hasn't been better photographs taken of it, or more, you know, coherent contact made with it, because it always seems like, you know, they land in, you know, on Gilligan's Island, you know what I mean?
There's something there for everyone. It's really good, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. You never know what's going to happen next.
I think that they should land in the front of the White House if they really want to be known. Maybe they will.
There's a fascination, first of all, with the fact that this could happen. Secondly, it's a romp.
It's definitely going to scare them, you know, a little bit, make them jump up in their seats, and it's going to make them laugh too, because there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff in it.
You don't need these.
Whoa. Hey, that's a little fast.
That's my opinion, but I think it's a very unusual, interesting, visceral, sensual film.
When you make this kind of movie, you have to accept the fact that in a sense, that the special effects that's the central thing of the film. That's what's going to sort of grab the audience and kind of make them not want to go out to get popcorn.
As you've seen, the evolution of species meant overcoming considerable technical and creative challenges. The end result is a film that will arouse all of your senses, and I hope you'll find it a thought-provoking thrill ride as well. I'm Ben Kingsley. Thanks for joining me.
The real astronauts, the real flight directors, and the real stars who brought the terror to the big screen. Join Jeff Fox for an eye-opening hour-long special. Inside Space presents Apollo 13, The Real Story. Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Now stay tuned for Quantum Leap, next on the SciFi Channel.
Coming up on the Sci-Fi Channel.